I'm Chuck. I'm here with Pivot AI, and we're speaking with Miss Kate Zappitelli from the Karrikins Group. How are we doing today?
Yeah, doing great. Thank you.
Okay. Just for our folks at home, we'd like to get to know you a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about where you come from and how you got started?
Absolutely. Originally from Colorado, so a native of Colorado, born and raised, and have lived at other places, but back in Colorado now, and had a background in higher education. So worked with a lot of PhDs and MDs. And when I got an opportunity to work as a consultant with CEOs, I was like, oh, sort of very similar personalities. And so I've been very fortunate for the last 7 years to work with Karrikins Group. We work with executive leadership teams on how to lead together better. And I'm also a certified coach and got into coaching about 4 years ago. And as cheesy as it sounds, really believe I am living my life's purpose. I really feel so grateful and honored to get to work with smart people who are always in pursuit of better and are working on their own leadership journeys and who want coaching. That's a gift that not everybody has that perspective. So really grateful to get to work with people in that space.
Right. So, what's one of the, I guess, the best parts of working with those coaches and leaders, the people that want to hear your opinion, right?
Yeah. Well, as a coach, I believe that every human is naturally creative, resourceful, and whole, and no one is broken and no one needs to be fixed. And so I'm, as your coach, your partner in finding your own answers. So I think one that like working with people who have an orientation that they want to get better, that they believe and that they're capable of growth is an important piece. And then folks who take the work that they're doing in the sessions and apply it outside of the sessions. That's the most fun, is to see when you come back and they're like, oh, I tried that and that worked really well, or I tried that and it didn't work so well, so I want to try this now. But people who are really willing to put themselves out there and try new things is fantastic. And I work with CEOs and presidents and vice presidents and directors across a multitude of industries, and so I get to learn a ton about what's important to them and what motivates them, and get to learn a lot about different industries. So I find the whole thing fabulous.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about your strategy, your business strategy, your kind of personal strategy for doing the great work that you've done and becoming as successful as you've become?
The strategy, I guess that I'm taking the word strategy very broadly. Is that how
Sure.
you mean it? Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to make a
Unless
plug.
you have a one, two, three
Right.
step plan to get us there.
Yeah, no. So strategy in a broad sense is, well, first want to make a plug for my CEO, Julie Williamson. She wrote a book called Make How Matter that's all about the conversations that you need to have as a group of people working together. And as I know you're a former Marine, and I'm sure you know this better than most people, it requires everyone on the team working in alignment. So all of our work is around how do you get people to say, well, I actually have a mindset that collaboration is a waste of time. I'm not going to lean into collaboration. Or we have a group dynamic where we have a lot of side conversations. We make decisions in the hallway, the metaphorical hallway. And then we get to the meeting and like the decision's already been made and people aren't brought into that. So those types of conversations are where our work shines. And so the strategy around doing that is getting the most senior leader to say either, I'm recognizing that our group dynamics are not helping us move forward and meet our strategy, our business strategy, or I'm a new leader and this is a great opportunity for me to coalesce a team. So I want to get really clear about how we work together from a behavioral perspective. So the strategy again is around getting leaders to recognize that there's a need there, that it's important to know why you're doing what you're doing. If you don't know how to do it together, that's where the failure gap comes into place. And then from a business perspective, we often work with those senior leaders and then they also want one-on-one coaching. So we do the teamwork and then we do the one-on-one work separately. Well, I guess in tandem. And it's been beneficial to work with enterprise leaders. So leaders who have a big remits across organizations. They have a lot of complexity. They work with a lot of different people, often working with global teams, so they're navigating time zones. So I think from us, that's the strategy is to work with those folks who need the help.
Okay. And what would you say? Obviously, that sounds very complex and a lot of different personalities and ideas, right? Points of view on things. So, what is one of the struggles or bottlenecks for you business wise moving to move the business forward? new clients and
Just to clarify, for us as Karrikins Group, a complexity or
yeah,
what are business leaders facing?
specifically for you, your business, Karrikins Group, like obviously doing all of that is very complex. And I'm just wondering, like, how do you navigate the struggles? Certainly you have struggles,
Yeah,
bottlenecks.
I
What is kind of the,
think there's a big challenge with I think that there often is not it's not always clear what the return on investment is with this type of work. And so that's a challenge that we are up against, that we have to sort of almost convince people that they need this alignment work because it will have an impact on their business. But that conversation can be challenging to get into if they're not coming to us and saying, we want this work and sign us up. So those conversations, because it's a little bit of an intangible ROI, that can be a challenge. And then I'd say, and I know you work with AI and automation, that is a hot topic everywhere. So I don't know that it's, but and I'm a big fan of AI. I use it and talk about it as a helpful tool. And we say, our work in an ever more digital world, this work is ever more human. And so there's that element there where we have to recognize, like, the human work needs to be done by humans, and the automated work can be helped, it can be helped or augmented with AI, and that's wonderful. But there are certain conversations and ways of working that you need to be interacting with humans to do it. So maybe that's another challenge, is getting people to see some challenges need to just be happen through a conversation.
one of the biggest bottlenecks?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you guys tackle that? How do you deal with those challenges?
Well, we have a very proven formula for having conversations with folks. So our work is very much with you, for you, not by you, not by us, to you. And so we co-create all of the work with leadership teams. We're never coming in and saying this is what you need to do and this is going to fix all your problems. We're saying let's do some interviews, let's figure out what's going on, and then let's talk about the elephants in the room. Let's talk about those side conversations where decisions are getting made and where priorities aren't happening, and where people are working in silos, and where there's positional power that are showing up in unfortunate ways in the team dynamic and people don't feel comfortable speaking up, right? All of those different pieces, we get sort of them uncovered in our sessions, and that's been a very helpful way to help people. It's been helpful for folks to not feel like not taking it personally. It's sort of like, as a team, this is how we're showing up. Our shared outcome is to grow in this way. Let's figure out as a group how we can do it. Not Joe did that and Bob did this and Sally did that. You're right. Just, as a team, let's look at ourselves from a more objective perspective. Our methodology, I feel like, does a nice job of making people feel like they're part of the process. It's not they're part of the solution, is a better way to say it.
Okay. Okay. Is there a place for AI in achieving those goals for the future of moving forward? Do you think it's going to, and are there any specific tools that you have used or you would recommend?
Yeah, great questions. We just had a demonstration this morning at our team meeting with an AI application where you can have a question, everybody asynchronously provides their responses. You could do it at the same time as well. And then are able to rank them and say if you agree, disagree, and put in different ideas. And it was like a really neat way to use an AI tool to get a bunch of ideas out on the table and then prioritize them with all anonymously. So our team was doing it all, so that was neat. I thought that was great, and that's something that we could use with our clients to help them get really clear on their team commitments, for example, or their trade-offs that they're making. Like, they could use an AI tool as part of the session. And I personally play around with a lot of different AI tools. I'm a big fan of ChatGPT just because I've used it a lot. I like Perplexity. I like, there's another one just recently. I was trying another one. Oh, Claude. I like Claude. So I use AI as like a thought partner, as a writing editor person, kind of thought partner, or I guess partner. And then I did a session recently for some students, and I was bored with the content that I'd been using the last couple of years. I put my presentation in, asked for some fresh ideas, put in the mission statement for the group I was presenting to, and got a whole bunch of new ideas. And I was like, that saved me so much time, and were ideas that I would not have had otherwise. And so I redid my presentation, and I did it a few weeks ago. I felt like it went really well.
Well, is there anything else that you want to tell me today?
Knowing that you're a leader of leaders, I'm I'm curious for you, what stands out to you as one of the biggest bottlenecks in team dynamics, team challenge?
I believe always the biggest one that I find is communication. And, it high stress, low stress, right? They each present their own challenges, right? And the different personality types and the different communication types, the way different people need to be communicated with. And how does a leader, when they have so many people under them, speak to all the different types in a way that's meaningful and everybody understands the same. So, I think communication is definitely one. And, that's within the team dynamic, but then also communicating to clients or potential clients, right? How do I take this prospect and one, find out what their needs are, right? Talk about the needs and the problem. Hey, look, you have this terrible pain point and this horrible thing that's causing you all this stress. And I know the solution. I have it here. It's the perfect solution for your pain point. How do I communicate that to you in a meaningful way so that you can understand that, hey, maybe I don't have to suffer in this way all this time. So I think for me, the biggest one definitely does boil down to communication and so many different levels and how we do that.
Yeah, I agree fully. Yeah, good. My advice is to see the gifts and opportunities in all situations. I think that's good for most personal things, professional things. That has served me, that mindset.
Hey, well, thank you. Really appreciate it.